Overexposure to politics stress. Every day for the past 2 years, I've been deeply entrenched in the politics of the day. Even though most policy decisions do not affect my everyday life, I can become stressed out about politics. If you're constantly following news events as I am, it's easy to get caught up in the anger that is seemingly sweeping Western politics. It often makes me nostalgic for a time when I knew nothing about politics, when I was blissfully ignorant. But as I see it, there's no turning back now. I see myself being involved in politics for the rest of my life. I like to compare politics to sports sometimes. The government is a big league with just a few teams. When your team wins in hockey or football, you cheer and you boast about your victory. The same seems to be happening when your favorite political party wins the Super Bowl of politics, an election. We spend all season rooting for our favorite team, and when we lose, we get sad, and when we win, we're ecstatic. This repetitive practice of putting our hopes, dreams, and futures on the back of the political system often leaves us feeling let down or used when things don't go the way we hoped. I find this especially true when your party does actually win an election. It's now up to you to defend every bit of policy they create. When you become known for being politically active by your peers and superiors, I often find myself having to share my opinion on every debate or quarrel, even if I don't care about the issue or have no knowledge on it at all. I also stress about things that a lot of my classmates are ignorant to: national debt, socialism, a strengthening Chinese enemy, violations of free speech in Canada. Not to mention the work it takes to stay up to date with every shred of relevant news. Now that I've begun podcasting, it's become stressful to consolidate all that news that's going on and present it to the public while it's still relevant. It's also a struggle to stay consistent with my worldview, even if my opinions change. The last thing someone wants to be called is a sellout or flip-flopper. When we let politics dictate what you can or cannot think or who you can or cannot associate with, we become bitter and resentful towards otherwise nice people whom you happen to disagree with. So what can be done to combat politics-related stress? Number 1, if you're on Twitter, get off it, or use it in moderation. Much of our political discourse takes place over Twitter. That's not good. We are no better as a society when we argue with people whom we have never met about news that probably doesn't even affect us. Instead of using Twitter or Facebook to discuss politics, talk kindly and with good intention with friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Number 2, don't let the news anger you. Many mainstream news channels and papers want you to be angry about something. They push a narrative where it seems everyone is angry about a political issue. So you should be angry as well. Don't fall for this trick. This is a poorly motivated tactic used by large corporations who don't have your best interest at heart. The media profits on anger. Number 3, think rationally about issues. Ask yourself questions like, will this policy affect me? Will it affect my neighbor, my boss? Then ask yourself, is what I'm reading or hearing true? Don't get washed up in fake news. It only seeks to divide us. And think about issues in a historical context. Has this policy been tried before? Did it work? Who was affected by it back then? Why do people want it in the first place? Asking yourself some of these questions can help you reach clarity about how you really feel about certain issues. Remember, it's always okay to change your mind. And my final solution to relieve stress from politics is simple but very effective. Take a break. In fact, take a long one. Orthodox Jews take a break from all technology from Friday night through Sunday night. They call this Shabbat. Whether you're Jewish or not, this could be something very helpful for your mental health. Go out into the real world. Enjoy time with friends and family. Don't talk or think about news and politics. Take a trip and avoid your phone at all cost. We've survived centuries without them. How much harm could one weekend do? I hope you find these tips and my own personal experience insightful and worth listening to. I implore you to try out at least one of my methods to avoid politics-related stress. Thank you for listening.